Tonight, Purrfect Bedtime Story will tell you the story, The Starfruit Tree and the Mysterious Island. On a time, in a peaceful little village by the sea, there lived two brothers. The older brother was named Max, and he was greedy and selfish. The younger brother, Anne, was kind, hardworking, and loved nature. After their parents passed away, Max took everything: the house, the land, and all the valuables. He left Anne with only a small piece of land near the cliffs and an old starfruit tree that grew there. The starfruit tree was no ordinary tree. Every season, it grew beautiful golden green fruits that sparkled faintly at night, just like stars. People in the village whispered that it was a magical tree, but they were too afraid to go near because of old stories about curses. One day, as Anne sat under the tree, something amazing happened. A giant golden bird with shimmering feathers landed on the tree and began to eat the starfruits. Anne was surprised, but not afraid. He gently said,
"Oh, dear bird, this is my only tree. If you eat all the fruits, how will I survive?"
The bird looked at Anne with wise, glowing eyes and spoke in a deep voice.
"Do not worry, kind one. I will repay you. Eat one fruit, and I will give you one gold nugget. Prepare a bag just 3 hands wide, and tomorrow I will take you to a mysterious island full of treasures."
That night, under the soft glow of an oil lamp, Anne carefully stitched a small bag, just as the bird had told him. At sunrise, the golden bird appeared again, its feathers shining brightly in the morning light. Anne climbed onto the bird's back, holding his small bag tightly. The bird spread its enormous wings and soared into the sky. They flew higher and higher, through thick clouds and fierce storms. Thunder roared, winds howled, and Anne held on tight as they passed through the dark, swirling skies. Suddenly the storm cleared, and below them Anne saw a magical island shining in the sunlight. It was covered in green forests, glowing rivers, and sparkling treasures everywhere. The bird landed gently, and Anne stepped onto the soft ground. Everywhere he looked, gold, diamonds, and jewels glittered in the light. But as Anne picked up just a few pieces of gold to fill his small bag, he heard a strange whisper in the wind. "Take only what you need. Do not touch the forbidden treasure." Anne looked around and saw an old golden chest in the middle of the forest, glowing mysteriously. There was a warning written on it.
"The forbidden treasure. Whoever opens it will face a great disaster."
Anne thought for a moment,
Then shook his head and said, "I have enough. I will not take what is not meant for me." He returned to the golden bird, and together they flew back home. With the gold he brought back, Anne lived a simple, happy life, helping others and caring for his beloved starfruit tree. When Max heard about Anne's journey, his eyes glowed with greed. He went to the starfruit tree, pretended to cry, and waited for the golden bird to appear. The kind bird, though hesitant, agreed to take Max to the island. But Max brought a huge sack, far bigger than Anne's little bag. On the island, Max grabbed as much gold and treasure as he could, stuffing his enormous sack until it was overflowing. But that wasn't enough for him. Max ignored the whispering voice and ran to the forbidden chest. Without hesitation, he opened it. The moment the chest opened, the ground began to shake violently. From inside the chest, a giant black dragon with red, fiery eyes emerged, roaring loudly.
"You greedy fool! You have awakened me, and now you will pay the price."
The dragon flew into the sky, spreading its massive wings, and created a terrifying storm of wind and lightning. The island began to crumble, and a giant whirlpool opened in the sea. Max grabbed his heavy sack of gold and tried to run, but the sack was too heavy. The storm pulled him back, and the whirlpool swallowed him up along with all the treasures. The golden bird escaped just in time, flying back to the Starfruit Tree. From that day on, the island disappeared forever, swallowed by the sea. The Starfruit Tree remained on the cliff, standing tall like a silent witness to the story. Anne lived peacefully, sharing his treasures with others and reminding everyone, greed brings nothing but trouble. Be kind, be thankful, and take only what you need. And so the Starfruit Tree became a symbol of kindness, gratitude, and wisdom. Now, close your eyes, little ones, and remember this story. Be like Anne, kind, humble, and wise, because true happiness comes not from having the most, but from being grateful for what you already have. Good night, sweet dreams, and may your hearts always shine as bright as the golden starfruits.